how did you conceive of this thing?
Simply, it's the NFL, the NBA, the NHL for the sport of mixed martial arts. It's literally copy paste.
Yep.
Same business model, 50-50 rev share. Let's just start taking care of the athletes like how every other major professional sport takes care of their athletes. So it's not a mystical idea.
Right.
It's just logic. We have the third most popular sport in the world, a sport that's truly global, and a sport still in its infancy stage. So this is just what I believe is the logical evolution to actually change the business model and do it the right way, where we have all these brilliant examples of these leagues that have been decade and decade and decade, and they all work great.
So
the owners
why do
make
you
money
think-
and the players make money?
Well, the pushback on there, my bad, B, but the pushback on there, Darren, and you and I have talked about this, but I want people to realize this. Like, the pushback would be, like, the fighting is different than opposed to the NFL, football, basketball, baseball, and there's been other organizations that have popped up, Affliction, PFL, which is tanking, Bellator.
PFL's tanking?
That's another conversation.
Yeah, no, I'm just that was my question to piggyback what you're saying. I was saying,
shit.
why have
but
so
you
many
got
of these
Strike
leagues
Force, right?
failed?
So no one's really the IFL for that, even though GFL is different. But there's been all these other kind of different examples of fight organizations, but they don't make it. So like right when you explained it to me, like that's kind of the first question everybody asks. Like, well, how are they going to make it when the only proof we have of anything working is the UFC model?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, what the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. These 700 promotions that have ever existed, and one has been truly successful, they've all followed the same business model. This is just a new, unique, different business model for the sport of MMA. However, it's historically proven. Whether it's Formula One, professional bull riding, sailing, golf leagues now with Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy's new golf league that they're selling teams for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
They were worth $500 million before they even put on their first event.
Wow.
So this is like, and as far as like, hey, you're a billionaire, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to own a football team? Well, good luck. You can't really buy in. And if you could buy in, you're probably spending 10 plus billion to do it. So now all of a sudden you can have a team of MMA fighters, exact same business model, where
You can buy new
my team
talent.
versus your team. This team, Elon Musk, let's go. Mark Zuckerberg, let's go.
Celebrity judges, celebrity coaches.
We're not celebrity judges.
I mean coaches.
Yeah,
Celebrity coaches.
legit coaches. We have the best coaches in the world right
can't
now.
have celebrity judges.
I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean celebrity coaches. I just
Well-known
mean
coaches.
that are really well known. That's what I
do
meant.
you know the coaches who are involved?
Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
got Ray Longo, you got Thiago Alves. It looks like you got some great people. The Cain
Javier
Velasquez.
Mendez.
Javier
Yeah.
Mendez.
Javier Cordero.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
I mean, you got big boys involved. Leonardo Machida.
Yeah, man.
Andre.
Yep.
But I think too, Conan, legend.
Jesus. I mean, that's some
Wanderlei,
serious.
Rafael Cordero. But I think too, what makes you guys different?
Henzo Gracie.
Yeah,
That's-
Henzo. It's gonna be
That's the
Henzo.
TBA.
Oh, that's awesome.
How great! We
Henzo's
love
the man.
Henzo. Yeah,
Everyone loves Henzo.
But I think what makes you guys different too is most of these other leagues come out and what they don't realize, they think they're in competition with the UFC. It's like that mountain's been climbed. There's no competition.
Nope.
Nobody's going to compete with the UFC. So you have to in order to get some sort of chunk of that big pie, you're going to have to do it different.
we're not here to compete with the UFC.
Yeah.
We're here to just do something different, leverage the team base, right? Like we're in LA, right? I hope you guys are, you're moving to Austin, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll have an Austin team.
Yeah,
But
why not?
as far as LA, Brian,
I
if you're
fight.
hanging
I
out
train,
here-
bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Have Gordon Ryan as a
So
coach.
you should be an LA team,
you go.
a fan of the LA team, right? Like,
Yeah.
so every fight you go to, if it's LA versus New York, 10 fighters from LA, 10 fighters from New York. So you have that built in. Hey, I'm trying to cheer for my team. I want the purple and gold team to win. I hope they beat the black and blue team.
So to ask a dumb question, what you would have is you'd have the New York team, and then you'd have a Brazilian team, or you'd
Sao
have
Paulo.
American team, Brazilian team, and you would have them. Obviously, you just pair them off, so you'd have an
Head to
American
head.
fight, just like with Tough or something like that.
Yeah. So every
Right.
fight,
Love it.
there's one fighter from each of the
Love it.
teams. So you've got that, investment of cheering for my team. It's the number one driver in sports fandom, proven, is cheering for your favorite team. So
Mm-hmm.
we're in the third most popular sport in the world, truly global sport. And there's never been, other than kind of IFL that tried to do this, but like 20 years ago,
Hardcore
we're in a
remember.
wildly different place in the world right now.
Yeah.
And, why wouldn't the same model work that works for everything, whether it's
crazy.
cricket,
Yeah.
race car driving,
Yeah.
it's all a different, different sports.
And
You
how
just
do
pick
you
it up
deal
from
with
everyone else's.
the blowback, right? Like, because whenever any league comes out, you know, a lot of guys use those legends, you know, the older UFC legends. You're gonna get some pushback. Oh, it's a grandfather league, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But my whole explanation there, and I was talking with Brian Rogan about this off air, it's like that model of, because casuals, they really don't know. They just know the names, and that puts the butts in the seat. It's no different than if it's a comedy club. The comedy club books the biggest name to attract the people, and then they fill in the rest of the lineup.
And
so you're
the
just
gems.
doing that, but then you're cultivating the younger talent, but you're just using those older heads to get the butts in the seats. And then once you get that initial viewership, then they're like, oh damn, Sage Northcutt, oh damn, Kevin Lee, or insert whoever, you know, these younger cats. That's all you're doing.
I mean, yeah.
You're exactly right. Right. Like the reality is, if we just come out and said like, hey, here are all these great fighters
Can't
here
do
you
it.
haven't really heard of, or you
Can't
know,
do
if you're the casual, you don't know.
You
right.
literally
But
can't
like,
do it.
you know, the top 20 names we have, our top 20 fighters have 36 million followers.
Yeah.
So it's the collective, it's that critical mass of all of these names all coming together at once, and all kind of having the positive, good vibes behind it, knowing that, hey, shit, if we do well, we're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Because they directly benefit for however many pay-per-views we sell, however many tickets we
Dude,
sell.
you got Uriah Faber. I'll pay money to watch Uriah fight. Chad Mendez, Uriah Hall. You got, I mean, look at Sage Northcutt. You got Andre Arlovsky, Frank Mir. When was the last time Frank Mir fought? That's going to be
It's been a minute. But like,
Yeah, but
same
that's
thing,
exciting.
like, you know, we're going to, you know how many UFC champ versus UFC champ matchups we have in our first two events?
Yeah.
It's like 4 or 5.
Wow.
And then, but the probably 80% of our entire roster, it's badass young up and coming fighters.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got the guys who've kind of been at the big show, and then whether it's injury or they needed time off or something like that, like, you know, some of these guys you might not know, like they're some absolute killers on our roster.
I'm
And then,
sure.
and then you're hoping to attract the younger, so some of the free agents or the young kids who are coming up, you're hoping to attract them because of the pay incentive.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like, you know, do you want to go one route where you're getting a limited pay, or do you want to try to get on the, you know, like the fighters that are on the, if we can do, which I think we can, Danis versus Ferguson, Weidman versus Rockhold. If you're on one of those fights that we're going to have good revenues coming in from it, they share in it. So
Yeah.
worst case scenario, they get a 1% revenue share. They might think, oh, well, my guaranteed purse is 30 grand, but they might walk away with 100 grand with the rev share.
Yeah, with the rev
So
share.
they're just incentivized, and everyone's incentivized to sell.
And Dan, I'm sure you guys have gone through the number, but is it sustainable? Like, because obviously, you know, the complaint with UFC is fighter pay and stuff like that. I don't know their books. I don't know how much they can afford to pay extra. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend
Well,
I do.
they kill it. Like,
They kill it. I know that. That's why I'm saying. So we know that business model works.
Works very well for them.
Very well
and
for them.
I'm a TKO stockholder.
Yep.
And I'm a very happy TKO stockholder. So, you know, kudos to them on
Agreed
creating
for
a
figuring it out.
phenomenal business model that works
But
extremely
dude, you do
well for
have
them.
some
But the
bangers.
question would be: doing the rev share model, is that sustainable?
Yeah, is it sustainable in the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, right? That's
Yeah.
the model. It's
Yeah.
once you share 50% of your revenues with your athletes, and like we don't have a crazy board of, you know, executives that are getting, you know, our monthly burn is pretty low.
Yeah.
So it's just a different model. It's I know how to construct the, you know, put on events and do it at a profitable level. I'm probably the only person in PFL/WSOF history that ever put on a profitable event.